All right, so before this video gets started, I do want to mention that we just restocked on this t-shirt right here, as well as our camo koozies. The stuff sold out pretty dang quick last time, so if you want to copy something before the video gets rolling, definitely be sure to visit goonzquad.com and help support your boys. Dang, son. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to continue working on the 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. And as you've seen in the previous video, we pretty much knocked out all the framework on this thing, and we even test fitted all the body panels here, and everything is lining up perfectly. There will be a little bit of adjusting here and there, but for the most part, it is looking good. And the next thing that we're gonna do is actually get ready to weld on the outer skin. So what we're gonna do is actually remove some of these body panels, cut, trim, and prep some of these pieces, just get them ready to be completely welded on. Dang, son, she's ripped apart once again.
Oh yeah, we ripped it back apart because we had to do our cuts right here, and then we went ahead and took off all the paint, got it all nice and prepped. Now what we have to do is start prepping this piece right here. We need to start drilling all of our holes for the spot welds, and then we can put it back on there and get everything welded back up.
All right, so check this out. This outer skin is finally fully prepped. It is pretty much ready to be welded on. But before we weld it on, you want to move on to the quarter panel.
Yeah, before we weld on this piece, we actually want to prep the quarter panel same way we did on the A-pillar section. Drill some holes, grind it up, throw the weld through the primer, because we want to put both pieces on at the same time. And we'll probably even throw on the doors for one last final test fit, just to make sure everything fits in unison. We don't want no problems later down the road. So I guess let's go ahead and prep this piece, and then we'll start putting it back on.
check out this gap right here. That is a perfect gap now that we got that quarter panel cut down and in place. And all the gaps are actually perfect,
the
dude.
gaps are perfect and the doors open and close beautifully.
Dude.
Now what we're gonna do is go ahead and fire up the welder and start welding up all these spot welds. And we're gonna actually start with these right here because we do need to put the apron on. And you have to weld this inner piece before you weld this, and then this inner piece gets welded to that.
And also, we're probably gonna hold off on welding that quarter panel until we get those hinges. That way we could adjust that lid and then weld it in, right?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait on that because we just wanna make sure everything is perfect, because once you weld it, there's really no going back. The only option would be to like cut the quarter panel off, which we don't wanna do. So we'll just wait on those. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and start welding this up. Yeah.
All right, so it is actually the next day here, guys, because we did run out of welding gas the other day, so we just had to call it short. But we are here at the dealership picking up some parts. What do you got there?
We got our hood striker, some bumper brackets that go along right here, and we got our rear hinges for our trunk lid.
Yep.
So that's gonna help us align everything and weld it in for good.
And also,
most importantly, our drive shaft, axle shaft, which we'll put that in later once we get everything finished up.
main reason why we're looking at this thing is because we want to check all the body gaps, and we're looking pretty good on the door gaps. One thing that I kind of got frightened or freaked out about was this gap right here on the hood. There's like a finger gap right here.
Yeah, I thought the headlight would be flush up against it, but it actually goes right on top of it. So we're just gonna have to match that exactly the same. I mean, our gaps are looking already perfect. On the doors and stuff, they are there. But here, I mean, you can even tell if you get real close, the hood even goes down further than the fender.
Yeah.
So it kind of, you know, it's not flush.
It's not perfect. Let me check the trunk lid gappage right quick.
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot about that.
Up top.
Oh, it's all perfect.
Okay, so
here,
yeah,
dude.
we're looking good so far. We're just gonna take some pictures just to have that just in case. But as of right now, I guess we're gonna head back to V-Tune shop.
Let's do it.
All right, so we are back here at V-Tune shop with some brand new welding gas. We were just about to spot that outer skin in, but then we just ran out of gas. I guess it was just pooping all over the
Yeah,
place.
the welds just weren't coming out good, and I realized we ran out of gas, so we got some this morning. So let's go ahead and just jump back on it and get this thing welded up.
Dude, that right there turned out absolutely amazing. This whole entire outer skin is finally welded on. This especially right here is nice and smooth. There's just gonna be a little bit of body work, which is always a good thing. And we might have not mentioned it, I don't think we mentioned it, but there is a piece of metal behind there.
Yeah, we basically cut a piece of this original panel, and then we slid it under there, and we made a nice butt joint right there, and it turned out really nice and strong. And now what I think we need to do is move on to the rear section, because we basically have everything here welded up. We are just waiting on putting the hinges on the new deck lid that you guys picked up.
Yeah, we picked those up from the dealership, and the reason why we got to do that first is because you got to line up that deck lid along with that roof before we actually weld in that quarter panel 100%,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So, and also we didn't mention this, but we were spraying cavity wax in there, right?
Yeah, this
Which-
stuff right here prevents corrosion, especially in all the areas that we couldn't really prime or clean up really good. And what this does is it sprays at 360 degrees like that.
Oh, dude, that is awesome right there. But you know what? We are taking every single step. We are doing this by the books, and you know what? The results are going to show in the end. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, this thing's gonna look basically brand new once we're done with it.
Brand new. And also, we are taking precautions as well. We got this sucker next to us because it did catch on fire a couple times, dude. It just keeps on catching on fire. But you know what? It's part of the process. So
The game.
I guess right now we're just going to go ahead and test fit the new hinges, and then we're going to move on to the quarter panel.
Yes, sir.
All right, so check this out, guys. We just test fitted the rest of these body panels, the tailgate, along with the new hinges and the roof, because you can't really throw on the lid without the roof. And we even threw on the bumper and the tail lights, of course. These are our LED tail lights, which we'll test those suckers out later, see how they look. But everything looks pretty dang good. We were going off the pictures from the dealership, and I think we got them better than the dealership, to be honest.
We were looking at the dealership pictures, and some of the gaps are a little off, but we kind of got these all nice and even all through here.
Pretty much just split the difference on both sides, and we got it to our preference, and I think it looks better than OEM, to be honest.
So now what we need to do is probably take this tail lid off and get the roof off, and then we're going to start prepping all of that because we have to do some spot welding and some panel bonding. So I'm guessing let's go ahead and take some of these parts off and get this thing welded in.
All right, so that is almost it for this quarter panel. We almost got it 100% welded on. The only thing that we did not weld is actually the back end over here, because we want to leave that for when we throw in the trunk lid and do our just some minor adjustments possibly. But everything is looking good so far. Up top, it's completely welded up, or the skin is completely welded up, and it's almost prepped for the roof, or it is prepped for the roof pretty much.
Everything is welded up and it's already prepped. All we gotta do is just wax and grease remove it. We even got the roof completely prepped over here. Drilled out all the holes on the back and the front where we're gonna actually weld, and the 6 spot welds that go along the sides. And we made sure to grind it down. We're not gonna throw any primer on it. That way, whenever we do the panel bond, it sticks permanently, just doesn't move. And we even picked up some OEM foam. Well, it is just like OEM, it's just made by 3M. This is a flexible foam, the exact same stuff they use on the edges or the braces right there. And it's just gonna help the roof stick to it and not move around.
And it's not gonna let it flex, you know, it needs a little bit of flex, but not much. And we also use some of this stuff, I believe, around this area right here for some reason, for the gas cap. I think it has it on the original.
Yeah, on the original it had it, and that's how it kind of like sticks to that. So it's all going, dude, this thing's almost OEM. You know
almost what I mean? OEM, but let's go ahead and keep moving here, throw on some panel bond and slap on this roof.
Let's do it.
All right, so the roof is currently glued on, but we're actually gonna hold off on welding that sucker because we are having a few issues adjusting this trunk lid right here 100%. And honestly, we think it could possibly be bent because, I mean, after all, it was in a rollover collision, and that's very likely. And we're even gonna hold off on this quarter panel. We're not gonna weld it in because it may need to be adjusted a little bit. And honestly, we could do these final tweaks at the house. And right now, our main objective is actually get this sucker home, dude.
Yeah, so what we're gonna go ahead and do now is weld in this front apron section, because the reason why we didn't weld it in is because this piece right here goes on before, and then the apron actually welds onto that, just
right
like
over the
that.
top, dude. And that's our very last piece that we need to weld in. And pretty much after that goes on, we could throw on the rest of our body panels
And take this thing home.
Take this thing home, dude. Alrighty guys, it is finally time to get this thing off the frame machine. We finally got the front end together, everything lined up. We didn't fully weld up the apron, but I think we're just gonna do that at the house because we are just kind of running out of time here. But everything is looking amazing right now. We're just gonna see if it fires up. Honestly, we had so much wires disconnected or whatnot. Go ahead, give her that cold start. Woo-wee!
That's it?
That's all she's got. She's just bone stock right now.
Hey, just do it once, just clean off the frame machine.
I really want to right now.
Let's go ahead, lower her down and get her on the trailer before it gets dark because the sun is going down quick and we're just trying to get her home, man.
Yep, as soon as possible.
That was just a one-wheel peel right there. That was pretty cool though, dude.
All right, so it is actually the next day, dude, and we just left this sucker overnight on the trailer, right?
Heck yeah, man. I mean, it was just super late in the night, but as of right now, what we're gonna do is actually start unloading this sucker and finally pull it into the Goon Squad garage, which we're super excited about that.
Man, it's been a long time on the framework.
We've been there a couple of days, man. Maybe a whole entire week, something like that.
Yep.
But as you can tell, it is looking good, man. I love to see it like this. And we went ahead and threw on the original front bumper with the grill and everything. And man,
just to see how everything's starting to, you know, shape up and stuff like
dude.
that, dude. But it is starting to come together. We still got a lot more to go, dude.
Yeah.
We are not done yet, dude.
As you can tell, the vice grips right there up top. We still got to finish up welding a few things, as well as this apron and even the quarter panel, as we mentioned before. But as of right now, we're just going to go ahead and unload this sucker, pull it inside the Goon Squad garage, and we'll just tell you guys what's next for this thing.
Dang, man, dude, this front bumper is looking aggressive.
This whole entire front end just looks absolutely amazing. But that is our original front bumper, which is completely damaged. But we are going to be throwing on our new one and just salvaging a bunch of parts off of this. So basically, the next thing that we're going to do is actually go ahead and throw in our new bumper brackets, throw in our new bumper, and make sure everything is aligned 100%. That way we can weld in that apron. There is just a couple of spot welds on that we'll take care of in no time. There's gonna be a good bit of grinding, not too much though. We just gotta smooth all these surfaces down, throw some welds on this roof on the front and the rear, and also along the side here. We just wanted to let that panel bond dry before we could actually tack that in. But as for the rear end here, all we gotta do is just adjust it a little bit and it'll be 100%. We just gotta tack in the rear end, and then we're gonna start doing body work pretty much in the next video as well. There is a little bit of body work on this quarter panel. I believe that's like from shipment or something like that.
There's a little dent there, and on this door, and even the new door that we bought, or the used door, there's still a little dings here and there. We're just gonna make this thing completely perfect, you know what I mean?
So we are getting close to the painting process, but as of right now, that's pretty much gonna be a wrap for today's video. We're just super excited to have this back at home. That way we can just continue with the rebuilding process. And also, I do want to give a huge shout out to V-Tune for doing some amazing work to this Trackhawk. Definitely be sure to follow him on Instagram and his YouTube channel. He's got some awesome builds going on there. I'm definitely gonna leave his link down below. And make sure your post notifications are on so you don't miss out on any of these Trackhawk videos. And if you want an inside scoop before YouTube, definitely be sure to give us a follow on Instagram at Goon Squad. And we did restock on these Goon Squad t-shirts right here. It's a super fire design in the red, white, and blue. And honestly, this is just a super comfortable t-shirt, and there's not very many of them. So if you want to help support your boys, definitely be sure to visit goonzquad.com and cop you one. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.